I want to start with a thought I've been carrying around way too long before I understood exactly what it was actually telling me. I'm starting to feel like I'm the problem, but something about this whole situation just doesn't sit right with me. That was the thought. And if you've ever thought that, if you've ever been up late at night, turning a situation over and over again in your mind, trying to figure out where you went wrong, trying to be fair, trying to be honest, trying to be, well, how about this? Trying not to be dramatic. This video's for you. Not because I'm going to tell you what to do, but because I've been exactly where you are. And I want to tell you what I wish someone told me. Now I was in a relationship, a romantic relationship, where I had to explain myself constantly. And I don't mean I was just communicating. I mean, I was building cases. I was finding the right words at the right moments with the right tone. And I was coming back even the next day with an even clearer version of what I meant. I was writing things down so that they wouldn't get forgotten to the point I was trying to make. But I know I was doing everything right by every standard I knew. But guess what? Nothing was landing with this cat. And instead of trying, let me take that back. Instead of asking why nothing was landing, I kept asking what was I doing wrong, or what was wrong in the way that I was saying it. And I told myself maybe I'm needing to be clearer. No, I was telling myself maybe I'm not clear enough. Maybe I'm trying and I'm being too emotional, or maybe I need to calm down first and then try again. So I got calmer, I got clearer, and I tried again. Still nothing. And that's when the thought started. It was quiet at first, then it got louder. You know what this thought was? I'm starting to feel like I'm the problem. Now, if you're not into this right now, I need you to hear me when I say this clearly. Clearly, you're not crazy. The confusion you feel is not a character flaw. You know what it is? It's the natural result of trying to make sense of something that wasn't making sense. And here's what I know now that I didn't know then. People who are genuinely the problem are almost never up at midnight trying to figure out what the problem was. You know what? They're usually pretty damn comfortable. The fact that you're asking these questions means something. It means that you have a conscience. It means that something may have trained you to put something had let me slow down. You know what this means? It means that something that has happened in the past has trained you to put yourself on trial first. Here's what I understand now about what was happening in that relationship. I wasn't just over explaining because I was needy or insecure or difficult. I was over explaining because I believed genuinely, that if I could just make the or find the right words, understanding was possible with him. So I was operating in good faith. I was assuming that the other person wanted to understand me the same way I wanted to understand him. But here's what I learned the hard way. You cannot explain your way into being understood by someone who has decided that they don't even want to understand you. That's not a communication problem, that is a willingness problem. And no amount of clarity on your end fixes a willingness problem on their end. What was happening to me is what may be happening to you. Is I kept turning the lens on myself to find the explanation because that felt like something I could control. If I'm the problem, guess what? I can fix it. If the solution is the problem, maybe I have to face something much harder. Guess what? I had to face the fact that I was trying to be heard by someone who wasn't listening. And I kept mistaking their not listening for my not speaking clearly enough. This is what accountability traps look like for us high achievers. We take our greatest strengths, our ability to self reflect, to grow, to take responsibility, and we turn it into a weapon against ourselves. We audit ourselves, we edit ourselves, we apologize for things we didn't even do wrong. We shrink to make more room for a version of the relationship that has actually never ever showed up or offered us. But I want to tell you what finally got me out of that loop. It wasn't a breakthrough conversation. It wasn't a light bulb moment where everything suddenly made sense. It was exhaustion. I was tired, genuinely. Physically, deeply tired. Not tired of the relationship, tired of the explaining, tired of preparing myself for the next attempt, tired of the mental energy it took, right? To keep building up that bridge and to keep to trying to reach the other side, which would never happen. So I guess I was tired of the relationship. And then finally, my body made the decision that my mind kept refusing to make. The exhaustion was the clarity. And that exhaustion, something inside me got quiet enough to ask a different question. Not what am I doing wrong, but what do I actually know to be true here? That question and that shift is what brave self is built on. Because being brave doesn't mean you have to stop looking at yourself honestly. It means you stop leaving yourself out of the equation when you do. You know, my boundaries were speaking the whole time. Every time my stomach dropped, every time I felt that low grade dread before a conversation, I kept overriding them because I thought the right words would fix it. My regulation was shot. I couldn't think straight because I was always bracing. The over explaining was actually my nervous system trying to find safety through control. If I can just get this right, the threat would go away. Guess what? My authenticity, who I actually was, what I actually felt, had gotten buried under layers of editing myself for someone else's comfort. And guess what? Both my voice and my values kept whispering that something was off. I kept over explaining them. And then the empowerment. That came when I finally let the exhaustion be the information instead of the failure. And the tiredness wasn't a sign that I was weak. It was a sign that I had been working way too hard to maintain something that was only being held up by me. So here's what I want to offer you. Not a framework, not a 5-step plan, just one sweep. When you catch yourself asking, am I the problem? Pause and ask this instead. What is actually true here about me and about the situation? Notice what changes. The first question puts you on trial. The second one makes you an investigator. And an investigator doesn't start by convicting themselves. They start gathering what's real. So sit down somewhere quiet, get yourself regulated, not numb, not checked out, but actually calm and present. And then honestly ask yourself, what did I actually do or say? And what is the real impact here? What was really happening in this dynamic before I started questioning myself? If my closest friend came to me with this exact story, what would I tell her? The last one is what got me because I had been having so much compassion for everyone around me and almost none left over for myself. And I would have told a friend, baby, you've been talking to a wall and that's not your fault. I had to learn to tell myself the same thing. You can be honest about what you contributed and honest about what was being done to you. You're allowed to hold both. You can be honest about what you contributed and honest about what was being done to you. And you can hold on to them both. You know why? Because that's not making excuses. That's called seeing the whole picture. Brave women don't just audit themselves. Brave women trust themselves enough to say, audit the situation. Now, I shared what I shared today because I know what it feels like to be smart, self-aware, genuinely trying, and still completely lost inside a situation that's had you questioning your own mind. And I know the way out isn't more explaining. It's not finding better words. It's coming back to what you actually know about yourself and about the situation and deciding to trust that. If this landed with you tonight, I want to hear about it. Drop a word in the comments and just one word of where you are tonight, because I will read every one of them. And if you know any woman out there carrying this right now who's tired and confused and quietly questioning herself, share this with her. She needs to know that she is not the only one. I'm Tiffany, and I'll see you in the next one.